tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to listen to Jesus. But the Pharisees and the scribes began to complain, saying, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." So to them, Jesus addressed this parable. A man had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, "Father, give me the share of your estate that should come to me." So the father divided the property between them. After a few days, the younger son collected all his belongings and set off to a distant country, where he squandered his inheritance on a life of dissipation. When he had freely spent everything, a severe famine struck that country, and he found himself in dire need. So he hired himself out to one of the local citizens, who sent him to his farm to tend the swine. And he longed to eat his fill of the pods on which the swine fed, but nobody gave him any. Coming to his senses, he thought, "How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat, but here I am, dying from hunger. I shall get up and go to my father, and I shall say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Treat me as you would treat one of your hired workers.' So he got up and went back to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son.' But his father ordered his servants, 'Quickly, bring the finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Take the fattened calf and slaughter it. Then let us celebrate with a feast, because this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.' Then the celebration began. Now the older son had been out in the field, and on his way back, as he neared the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what this might mean. The servant said to him, 'Your brother has returned, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf, because he has him back safe and sound.' He became angry, and when he refused to enter the house, his father came out and pleaded with him. He said to his father in reply, 'Look, all these years I served you, and not once did I disobey your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat to feast on with my friends. But when your son returns, who swallowed up your property with prostitutes, for him you slaughter the fattened calf.' He said to him, 'My son, you are here with me always. Everything I have is yours. But now we must celebrate and rejoice, because your brother was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found.'" The good news of our salvation.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
In the gospel today, we heard the famous story of the prodigal son. Alam nating lahat yan, no? Kung hindi nga, memorize nating lahat yung kwentong iyan. Now I invite you, let's look at the elder son in the parable. He felt bad that his younger brother, the prodigal son, is treated with so much mercy and kindness by the Father. Why is that? No? Bakit siya tinratong ganon? You can feel for the elder son. But now, let us look at ourselves. Why is it that we are happy when we receive God's mercy and kindness? When He looks on us with kindness, we rejoice. Hindi po ba? Why is it that we shed tears of joy when the Lord grants us some relief from our struggles, from our problems? When the Lord heals us from our sickness or pain, tuwang-tuwa tayo. Hindi po ba? Why do we rejoice when the Lord shows us His mercy and then feel bad when He seems to show more mercy and more kindness on others? Bakit ganun? Why do we feel bad if He shows the same mercy on those people we think are undeserving? Bakit? You don't agree? Let us think of a scenario. Imagine, one day you are with your friend, and then you receive a call all of a sudden. Out of the blue, sa kabilang linya, narinig mo yung boses ni Willie Revillame, yung nagwawawawi, no? Tumawag sa'yo, biglaan. And he says, "Uy, you've won 100,000 pesos tax-free." Nako, maglulumpasay ka sa tuwa, sigurado ko. You would feel very happy. But then, your friend's phone begins to ring as well. And on the other end was again, Wawawi Willie. Tumawag naman sa kaibigan mo. And he tells your friend, "You won 1,000,000 pesos." Naglumpasay din sa tuwa yung kaibigan mo. Isipin mo, nanalo siya ng 1,000,000, ikaw, 100,000 lang. How would you feel? Honestly, I tell you how you would feel. Not happy at all. Maybe a little irritated. It's unfair. A cruel twist of fate. Why him? Not me. O, di ba? May ugali talaga tayong ganyan eh. We could all relate. Because of your envy, because of your false sense of justice, what grace and blessing you both received turns into a curse. Imbis na sabay kayo nagdiriwang, it becomes a source of distress and ill feeling. Hindi naman nawala sa iyo yung 100,000, pero bakit ang sama-sama ng loob mo? You easily forget that you both received freely. You reaped what you did not plant. Parehas naman kayo walang ininvest kay Willie. Parehas naman kayong nanalo, tumanggap. Pero galit ka at hindi nagpapasalamat. Let's go back to the parable. The elder son, like us, thought that his father was being unfair. But the question we should be asking is not whether the father is fair or not. That is the wrong question to ask. The question we should be asking is this: is it good to have a kind and merciful father? The question we should be asking is it good to have a kind and merciful God instead of a vengeful and wrathful one? Kasi pwede namang piliin ng Diyos na lahat ng kasalanan mo, tudasin ka niya eh. But He is kind and merciful. In the psalm, we proclaimed, the Lord is kind and merciful. Invitation po yan. that whenever we encounter God's mercy and kindness, whether in our lives or in others, we must rejoice. Huwag kang mainggit kung makita mong the Lord is kind and merciful on others. Because then you realize, because He is kind and merciful to him or to her, He could be kind and merciful to me. Rejoice that mercy exists for others, because then mercy exists for you. Rejoice that others experience mercy, because then you know for sure there is mercy in store for you. The Lord is kind and merciful.